Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the live stream of Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host, Bob Pace, and I warmly welcome you to a not so good government agency. I think myself, I'm too a victim of CPS. And all you that come in and my family on here, there's like a bunch of you that call in regularly or come in regularly. You all have had the same issue that I have. We've run into a rogue CPS entity. Now, there's thousands of CPSs throughout the United States and the world. Every state has counties, and every county will have an entity. Now, what I call CPS stands for the Child Protection Systems. Now, there's many different names for those systems. Like in California, Orange County is Child Protection Service, CPS. But next door in LA, they decided to be called the Department of Children and Family Services. And I don't know why they all can't stick with a name called CPS. It would be a lot simpler. But for discussion purposes and on my live stream, when I say CPS, I mean all the systems out there in every county, every state, and every country. You've heard me mention country twice. I want to let you know that this is a worldwide live stream. Anybody that has internet can view this. I am broadcasting on YouTube using the StreamYard application. And I'm on twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. Now, my times are different on the weekends, on the weekdays. But on the weekdays, in the morning at 10 a.m., and that's Pacific Standard Time, West Coast, California, I'm on for an hour. That's Monday through Friday. Then in the evening, I'm on again at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for 1 hour, and that's Monday through Friday. On the weekends, I come in early. I come on at 8 o'clock in the morning to 9 o'clock Saturday, Sunday, and then I'm on again at 7 p.m. to 8 o'clock. And I've been doing this for 17 months, since October 2023. And it's 2 live stream a day. That's 14 a week. 14 times times 52 weeks tells you the year, and you multiply it again by the months left of that I have, and you find out that it's a lot of live streams. They're all recorded, and you can look them up. I try to make them different so no two are the same. I do talk about my rules and talk about what to do in this live stream and to help you. My whole goal or purpose is to be helping you with your CPS case. It's a horrible thing that you're into, and I know it was horrible. The bad CPS are corrupt. They don't want to do family reunification, and they make it very difficult for you parents and grandparents and aunts and cousins and whatever to see family members. It's really about money, the bad CPS is. And it seems like that's everybody's in common. We have bad CPS. Internationally, I have 21 countries, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India, then over to Middle East of Saudi Arabia and Libya. And then I go to Africa and I have Liberia. And then I have Sudan, and then Rwanda, Mozambique, and then several of the provinces in South Africa. Then up to Europe, I've had England, Scotland, Wales, and then I've had Denmark and Sweden. Then over the Pacific to North America, over the pond, I have 4 provinces in Canada, and I have been contacted by all 50 states, several people from the same state. So every state has spoken. Not only that, we've also had the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., spoken too. And then down to Mexico, I've had Mexico. And then in South America, I've had Grenada. Then across the South Pacific, I've had New Zealand. And then south of that, I've had Australia. 2 states there. So I've had several people from a lot of those countries. Some of them being called in. Africa, country code is 27. And that was South Africa that talked to me at her expense. And then I had a call from England, country code 44. Now, I've also had calls last night with Nova Scotia, but I've had several Canadian calls. They use the area code like we do. And then I had a call from Mexico City, and Mexico uses the area code like we do. So Mexico and Canada and the United States share something common, and I hope they continue that way. I really, really do. I think both Mexico, Canada, and America need each other. There's a lot of goodness in everybody there. Now, I've talked a little bit about CPS, this entity that you may not know about, but the child protection system has gone rogue. It's gone bad. They're not transparent. They use money. They steal money. They lie. They use deceptions, and they do revenge. And I know firsthand what revenge really is. I had a social worker that committed perjury, and she revenged and told us parents you never see your daughter again. And she ensued to have her out of her life at age 12 by talking her into getting emancipated from us and changed her name and sealing her birth certificate, getting a new birth certificate, new social security card, collecting double, and then adopted by a foster care. All that at age 12. She didn't know how to do that. That social worker didn't ruin it. It was really bad. I know firsthand how corrupt not only the social workers are, the managers, the supervisors, and the director of and it was called CPS in Orange County. And the director had a Taj Mahal office building, all to him. And he had like, I don't know how many stories. And it looked like the Wizard of Oz, the Emerald City, green. It was so overkilled. I can see where the money's being spent and so forth. But it's a hard thing out there. And right now, we have several of you in the room. If you want to be in here and do something more than just take notes and listen, you can also text me a message. I love to hear from you. I love to hear from you if you could text a message. It's very important that we deal with questions or comments and we stick to the theme of CPS. Now, all I need to see from you is your first name, your city or county, and then the state. And if you're from another country, it'll be your country. That way, everybody's welcome. If you have a CPS case, you're welcome. Then also try to tell me something about your case. Try to tell me something about your case. Now, another thing you can do while you're in this room here, you can become a guest. All you have to do is email my show producer. Her name is Grace. She's on. She works behind the scenes, and she's been instrumental in making my live stream a positive, enriching place to be at. So you email her with one of my 14 live streams. You say, I want Bob's Sunday morning show, or Bob's Saturday evening show, or Bob's Friday night show, or Bob's Wednesday morning show, or Tuesday. So you just pick the date, 7 days of the week, and the time is either morning or evening. Now, I know there's some times that I may deviate from my regular scheduled times, but I'll let you know ahead of time when that does happen. To be a guest is enriching because I can have 90 of you at the same time, 90 of you talking and helping one another. Now, you be told by Grace of what you can say and not say and do and so forth. We definitely don't allow eating on the show or smoking. And then we don't use first names of social workers, judges, or children or parents there. We try to keep away from that. The last way you can be interactive is to call in. Now my number's live. It's 626-698-0990. So when you call that number, you'll be connected to me. I'm on Vonage. And I'll gladly take your call. Now I'm doing something a little bit more for Vincent Davis. I'm now calling potential new clients, people that have expressed interest in retaining Mr. Davis. I call them up and talk to them and find out some more detail about them, send them a rental, send them a work agreement to work on us representing them. And then I, collect the retainer. So that's what I do when I'm not on the show. So I'm becoming really busy now. I have my shows an hour every day. That's 7 hours. And then I have 4 hours times 5. That's 20 hours a week doing phone calls. I do 2 hours before my show and 2 hours after my show. So some of you have called in and talked to me, and that is great. And some of you that talked to me went and saw my show, and you're amazed. You were really surprised at what takes place. I had one guy I was talking today, and he is so far away. He's in Maryland, and he says, nobody in the country has what Mr. Davis has, or you, Bob. You guys are brilliant. You know how to talk to people. And, there's several ladies that have called in here and they've been so heartbroken. And it hurts me. And I try to calm them down and talk to them. It's so tough to have a CPS case because you're not dealing with real people. You deal with liars and cheaters and people that want money. That's not true about all CPS, but the people I've met. I've only had a couple dozen. I've only had 3 or 4 social workers in here. One of them was Carol from Maryland, and she was great. She had a college degree, and she had taken training for 6 months, and she was a clinical psychiatrist, and she was a horde that when I was talking about CPS. I don't mean to talk bad or negative, but you guys got to grow up. If any of you listen to me, I know what the bad CPSs do. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong to take money. You're so greedy, and money is. You're going to get caught. Doge right now is flushing out the skaters, the people that are not working at a government job and getting paid for sleeping or whatever that they do in their work time because they're not working. They're not working. That's why an email was sent out that the people had to respond. What did you do in the last 40 hours? It's going to be changing because right now I have a big problem with CPS because they get too much money. It's $1 trillion business a year, and they give out bonuses and everything else. And so it is wrong there. It is wrong. Now, I've been talking here, and I have a banner at the bottom of my screen. And I want to talk a little bit about the podcast. It takes a lot of work and talent to put this live stream on. And we're facing rising costs with production and so forth. And we're going to start a newsletter for $1.99. And we want you to register. We want you to subscribe to YouTube channel. And it's called the CPS Defense Strategy. And the consultant is Vince Davis. So by subscribing there, you'll get a newsletter. I believe it's $1.99. We're still working out the details, but it's going to be a useful newsletter. It's going to have articles by me, Bob Pace, and I'll have Vincent Davis about how he won his cases, and then also how he fought and got the children back. So there'll be a lot of interesting things said and so forth, and it will come up later we don't have, I don't know if we have that many people here, but anyway, when we start having, we'll start doing it. So I really push for it. Now, there's another thing too that we have that I want to get. Oh, I didn't put my phone number up. I'm sorry. I put my phone number up there. I forgot that. Now, you can call me between hours of 10, 11 in the morning and 7 to 8 at night. Now, you can call in the morning because I am calling. So you can call in the morning from 8 to 10 and from 11 to 1. And so I will take your call there. And I can help you with setting up agreement with Vincent Davis and having him represent you. That is the key ticket to win your children back. So a number's open, and whether you call in on my number or do as a guest on my live stream, you're eligible for a free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. Be on a Zoom call, and you can talk about your case and what can be done and so forth. But he'll give you a free 15-minute consultant, and all you had to do is relax and defend yourself, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay, there's another website I want to tell you about. It's called the Sand.store / attorney VWD. There you can find guides and books and anything that Vincent Davis has written. Now, one important guide is out right now. It's called The Grandparents' Guide to Getting Custody of Their Grandkids, Step by Step. It's for California, but I work in other states, and parents should get it too. It's for $9.99, but I have it on a discount for 50% off. And all you have to do, the code you type in PACE 50, PACE, it's all capitalized, number 50. And that will redeem you money to help out your situation. The first one up in the group right now. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so that is a good thing. That's a good thing. So, whether you're a guest on my show, I don't know why my number disappeared. Jeez. My computer is the worst it's been. It just opens windows, close windows. The cursor moves all over the place. I've taken it. I've had supposedly no viruses. And I think it's just old. Computers don't last forever, but this one is on its dying legs. The live stream is probably too advanced for it and so forth. So that's why. Now, my number's up and you can call in, and I'd really love to talk to you about any topic that's about CPS. Oh, the other number, the 888-888-6582 number, um, that is the number for the office. And you can call that number. You can also ask some questions. When you call in the 888-888-6582, tell them that Bob Pace sent you, and then you tell them what you want. And so if you want to speak to Mr. Davis, they'll check to see if he can. And if not, there might be another day on that too. So so that's my number. The other number is 888-888-6582. That's the law offices. There you get lawyers and books and set up to get a retainer with Mr. Davis. It's real easy. And he will practice not only in California, but every state of the union. And I know he has a case in Pennsylvania, Missouri, and he had one for Oklahoma for a time being. But then most of his folks now, the folks in the assistants are okay, but they are really taxed at some time. I'm hoping that the president will be strong and that anyway, I'm sorry to digress on that. So now, let me see here. Another way that you can talk to Vincent Davis, I need to put that up, is to go to a website. It's up there. It's NTTPS // candidly.com / apps VWD / Bob Pace. And you'll get a discounted private session, a Zoom session consultation with Mr. Attorney Davis. And you can book one or get one with a $60. And to claim it, you go to that website right there. So that 30 minutes, he'll do that private Zoom. You just pay the $60, and that website, you go ahead and gear it there. It says https / candidly / com / app ts VWD / Bob Pace. And that'll get you there and you book your time. So there's lots of ways to talk to Vincent. You need to talk to him. He's a world class attorney. He's been doing this for 39 years fighting CPS. And he was once in foster care himself. So he knows the whole gamut of CPS. And then on top of that, he does work, she does work and go around and support her clients in the work program. Okay, now, let's see here. We've talked about that. Okay, good. Now we have left is my rules. I have 5 of them. 1 is to get an attorney. 2 is document. 3 is to say no to social workers and the police and watch out medical trafficking. 4 is how to use the internet, the correct placement of words. And 5 is to get copies of important documents like your marriage certificates and the children's birth certificates. Anyway, those are the 5 rules. If I had followed them, I never would have lost my child. It was sad that I did, but I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd done things differently. My case started in 2010, and that's when I lost my job through no fault of my own. And for the next 5 years in 2015, I was completely harassed by my in laws, who were the people reporting to CPS. My in laws are from Ohio. The mother, the father, the 3 sisters, and the brothers were once a week saying that me and my wife were abusing our children. Came up with different stories. Social workers would contact us, they'd meet with us, and I'd show them nothing there. And then sometimes it got to where it's underneath the lights, and I said, the family gone to bed. We can talk about this after they're settled in. So that was a hard thing to swallow, a really hard thing, because I'd lost my daughter. That's a hard thing to get. And I was hoping we have some questions so I could get some answers or somebody help me. I don't see Margaret or Betty, or I don't see NYP, which is Nisha. And we've had Salazar back on. That's been really great, Christine Salazar. And she had a case today. I want to know the outcome. Who else has had? I haven't seen two. Is There's so many of them. There's about 20 to 50 of them that regularly come to my show all the time. And so hopefully they'll be coming in shortly. Now, I have about 25 minutes left to talk. I don't like to do the talking. I like to do the answering the questions and helping other people make decisions. It's a hard thing to be fighting CPS and not know what they are. You're not born with that manual and not born how to work with them. They're one particular life skill that you missed out in high school and college that should have been sent and addressed, because a lot of people don't even know how the case is or what is CPS or what is a worker. Now, when it wasn't until I think it was, what year was it now? It was in 1974 when the rules were being enforced. And it's been a long sort of process. CPS started in 1600, but it wasn't called CPS then. The societies would help out. The very wealthy people would help out taking lost children and stuff. And this went on. And then when the Indians were put on reservations, the Indians were kidnapped and never returned to their families. And they suffered a lot of atrocities and so forth. It's sad for the Indian people because they're few and they're proud. And it's really hard there. The thing that is, let me see here. I was looking on something else here. I know 1962 is when they started becoming a little bit organized. They've had a lot of changes and things. One of the worst things was in 1994 when President Clinton signed an Incentive Act. That's where they get money for having people adopted in foster care. They really try to push foster care as opposed to family reunification. Family reunification takes a long time. There's a lot of classes you got to pass. So I had family reunification, but it still took us 3 years from 2015 to December 2017. That's how many years it took, and it was hard. It was hard. Um, Happy to say, as my two boys were taken from me, were eventually returned, and both are in college now. One's 19, the other one's 25. And there's my daughter, 22, and she's the one that was taken away, and I've not seen in such a long time, such a long, 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 long time. Now, this is quite unusual that we have nobody in here. Usually I have some people, but they'll probably come in at the end of the show, and then they'll have to wait till tomorrow. Some of them had court dates. They probably were in court today and probably don't want to talk. They probably have some disastrous news. I know one of my regular constituents, KK Richardson from Brooklyn, New York. She does what I'm doing, but she does it on Monday night about 5:30, and she had a horrible case. And I wonder how she's doing. Um, because she's always comes in there every so often. Now, I've told about the 30-minute. I've told about where they get your books and stuff, and I've also told you about the 15-minute. But if you're ready to hire attorney, Vincent's the man. He's the one you want to get. He is a, juvenile family dependency lawyer, and he has a warmth of experience in the laws before the dependency court, juvenile, and family. And those are the laws that will be expressed in court. It is not criminal court, and you certainly don't want to make it like that. Now, my rule number one talked about getting an attorney, finding one. You should get 3 quotes. Anything you do in life, you should always get 3 quotes. And it's not hard to talk to 3 attorneys. You can do my rule number 4, which is organize your words in the right path and get your people that way. One way is to start off with a jungle, a triangle. I mean, not jungle, triangle there. And so you can get there. Oh boy, we got somebody here named Tony Tiger. Wow. Tony Tiger, are you anything related to the Kellogg's Tony Tiger? Welcome, Tony Tiger. You're from New York State. Great. And is trafficking our kids and women? There's a whole setup going on. I reported it. And part of what I know is now we got more state troopers, and here the in here, yay, yesterday, and here, yay, and more drug trafficking arrests. Well, yeah, that's probably in your New York. I don't know what part of New York you are, but I'm glad to hear that. That's a good thing. And Tony says further from New York, they don't get to the center of it where I live. My son went to the hospital for suicidal ideations, and the hospital tried to prevent me from seeing him. I got a lawyer knowing CPS was part of this. You're smart. You knew about CPS. That's good. Tony Tiger says, now I'm being brought to family court for neglect charges. So they accuse you of neglect of your child. So what was the details about that, Tony Tiger? Tony says, now I'm being brought to family court for neglected charges. Well, that is good. You don't belong in criminal charge. You belong in the family court. Um, Now Tony says, now I'm being brought to family court for neglect charges. Okay, yeah. Either physical abuse or neglect. Tony Tiger says, to the uh, because the lawyer helped me get my son out of the hospital instead of being put in a psychiatric facility. Oh, you must. Did you hire a professional attorney, Tony? Did you hire one? Um, Instead of trying to be put in a psychiatric facility. And CPS wants them in. I'm both to be put in a family law. They've been trying to take my son away since he was in my stomach. He is 13 now. Oh, that's sad. Well, you got to push for family reunification. And if you were charged with neglect, you take the parenting classes and you get that finished right away. Because you need to return and take care of that child because the best parents are the biological parents. They are the best person for raising children, having that connection there and so forth. No name. Well, that's original. No name. You don't want to give me your name. Okay. Well, where are you from? No name. I don't know what to do. I am so um, confused and desperate. Well, you come to the right room. I'll try to help you be unconfused and help you not be so desperate. You've just run into a nightmare. I don't know where you're from, though. You need to tell me your location. Okay? You need to tell me your location. And Tony, I don't know how you could be charged with neglect. I mean, I don't understand that at all. All you parents, I know how you feel. I can feel it right now. I know you guys are just down and out, and that's wrong. Um, what kind of neglect charges are they, Tony? What kind of neglect? I have 33 minutes that we've spoken so far. My time is over at 8 o'clock tonight, and the time now is 20 minutes till, so we have a 20-minute left of the time. Um, 20 minutes left of the time. So if you could tell me some more, Tony, that'd be great. No Name is from Wisconsin. Glad to meet you, No Name. And what is your case about? Now, Tony Target says, now I'm being brought to family court for neglect charges. Okay. It should be called dependency court, but that will do um, on that. Now, um, I got extremely intoxicated after a surgery, and now I'm being treated like an absolute monster. You know, socially, as parents, we grow up, we try recreation drugs, and some of us do, some of us don't. But if you're going to raise children, it's best not to have drugs, alcohol, or smoking around the kids. That makes it healthy. Children and kids, under 18, there is a law that says they cannot purchase tobacco or the drugs. It's for their own safety. There's plenty of time that they get it. When they turn, 19 and 20, when I think they turn 21, they're allowed to get the drugs if they want to or smoke or whatever. But it's a hard. But if you're going to raise children, you need to be completely drug free, alcohol free. You don't want to be traipsed around doing all your different activities that you did before. So the best way is just to be out of there. Is what I'm saying. Just be out of there. Um. Now, let me see here. What we got coming in here? I never caused any problems my entire adult life. And I'm sorry because this is a corrupt agency. I tell people it's like Alice in Wonderland. You fell in the garden in the rabbit hole and you met the Chester cat who directs you from one room to the next room and it's all confusing. That same thing happens in CPS. They lie, they cheat, they swindle, and they're not honest. I mean, you think a government entity would be, but they're not. They're not. We have a new one, Mr. PP Body Love. Okay. Good evening, Mr. PP Body Love. Where are you from? Where are you from? And good evening, I agree, and good job. Thank you. So, where are you from, Mr. PP? And I think no name. I forgot where you're from. Let me see. Was Wisconsin. Okay. Okay. So no name is from Wisconsin. Tony the Tiger is from where? Okay, where is Tony the Tiger? Okay. Now I had talked about finding an attorney, and there's like very important questions you need to ask. You should always get 3 attorneys. One of them should be Mr. Davis. Now, he's been doing this for 39 years fighting CPS. He is a juvenile family trial attorney. He has lots of experience. Not only does he get the children back, but he also does lawsuits. When your case is over, he can file a lawsuit and get millions of dollars back, whether he's in federal court or state court. He's worked in both areas there. Let me tell you what Mr. Peepee was saying. See, good job. New York. Okay, great. He's identified from New York. And I'm glad you like this because I try to build up your confidence and try to show you ways to do things. So getting that magical attorney is hard. And one of them we already have, Vincent Davis. And you need to get quote from 2 others because there's a retainer. And retainers can be all over the place. They can be 5, 10, 20, 30, whatever. But I know that, for instance, if you have a case in LA, it's a $5,000 retainer in LA. And as it goes north in California, past San Francisco, it's $18,500. So those are all the legal fees. And also the per diem. Now, when he goes out of state, he's got to put that in there. Per diem are the palm trees and the reefs. And it's so important there. Now, for a heads up, I want to tell everybody that if you're going to get that attorney, make sure you go to rule number 4 and phrase your words right. You want to put the city followed by the state. So you want to put the city followed by the state, then you put the letter CPS, and a lot of things are going to come up for that area. But if you want to be more specific, you can put a word that describes what you're looking for. Like you want to know something about the Equal Act of 1978, or you want to know about the 388 motion, or you want to know about the 126 hearing. There's a lot of different things you want to know about. Then you put that after the letter CPS. So if you're looking for an attorney, after the CPS, you put down attorney schooled and licensed in federal court, license and can brought back children. And if the answer is yes, the second question is, have they ever sued CPS? If you ever did, then you could, if you want money, then that to me is a good attorney, well-rounded attorney. If they can sue in the state and federal court and go for what they're asking for, that would really be nice on that there. Now, down at the bottom, we have no name. He told me one 125,000, and I wish I could have just hired him. Yeah, that's a lot of money. Mine was double that. I had to sell my home, and mine was local, but it was a bad case because I had fought CPS, and he had to fought CPS too. They're very corrupt. They're very revengeful, and the Orange County one is really one of the worst. One of the worst. I know. Well, I had to be creative finance and I sold my house. You have to look at maybe scholarships for people that you get money from. That's what you, yeah. So I know that is a lot of money. They're extremely corrupt, and you are exactly right. The revenge is crazy. They never respected all this. No one does. And the sad part out, it's $1 trillion business, not million, not billion, trillion. They make trillion. They give out bonuses and incentives and so forth. Now I have about 15 minutes left, and I want to know where my phone went. My computer is doing some great things. It shuffles my messages around, and I don't know why it took it down the phone number. But if someone would like to call in, you can be rewarded if you think about it. Anybody that calls in or be a guest on my live stream, you will get 15 minutes free with Vincent Davis. That's 15 minutes free with Vincent Davis. All you have to do is um, to be on the show and talk as a guest. I have 9 of you, or on the phone, and you can talk and so forth. And that would be great because talking to Vincent is like a gold mine. You want to make, anytime you talk to him, make a list of things you ask ahead of time and prioritize the list. But it's very important that you don't try to wing it from your side and try to now, as you speak to the attorney, when you answer the second question, and they've won cases against CPS and civil cases, why make money, you got you got attorney there. So what you'll do is you'll call them, check out the references, and meet with them, and then if you like them, you want to do all 3 attorneys, including Vincent Davis, and look at the best rate you got. You got to make sure it's all inclusive and how they do the rates and everything. So. Uh, okay. So now we move back to my documentations and my notebook. It's so important on my notebook that you have a page called incidents. You want to have a page called incidents, and that's where you start a list of every time you talk to a social worker or you talk to the police. You write down the incident. You need 3 lines. Okay. Um, Someone just said hi there. Oh boy, yeah, I can still talk there. Okay. Um, okay. So this incident log is something that's really important because you won't remember everything 3 months from now, 6 months, a year or two down there. It's going to take at least a year for the case to settle. And with me, it took 3 years. So be prepared for at least 3 years of a battle. Now, the reason why mine took so long is I had criminal charges that are falsely accused against me, and it took a year to resolve those charges. So they drag their feet because they can't do that till the criminal charges are done. So keep that in mind there. Now, No Name says they're extremely. I guess someone wants to call tomorrow in on the show tomorrow there. Um, yeah, the revenge is crazy. I never expected. Well, my daughter, that social worker committed perjury and she did revenge. And so she coached my daughter to divorce her mom and dad, her three brothers, her two sisters, her both sets of grandparents, her aunts and uncles and cousins, and change her name. She had a beautiful middle name, Hanalei, and she erased that. And then she sealed the birth. Then she sealed the birth certificate. Um, okay, we have someone from area code 510 that wants to talk. I don't know if they want to talk on the show or want to be retaining Mr. Davis as an attorney. So that's who I was texting to. But it seems like I'm getting more and more busy. Um, Now it's getting close to 8 o'clock. I'm going to take down my phone number now because I can't take calls anymore. So that being said, we're going to be able to do that then. Um, I want to thank all of you for calling in and being a part of this live stream. No Name, I really appreciate um, what you were saying. Mr. PP, the same thing too. I agree with you. Mr. PP was from New York. No Name was from Wisconsin. And then Tony the Tiger. Um, and I don't know where you're from, Tony the Tiger. I think that's one person ever told me where you're from. You've been talking a lot. Um, I thought I know where you're from, but no. Um, so Tony the Tiger, you never told me where you're from. But anyway, wherever you're from, I want to help you. And you can come back again tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock when I'll be on. And I will do that. Okay, so I want you all to not forget to come back to this live stream. I'm on twice a day, and I really would love to hear from you again and be part of my family. And also make yourself a list of questions you want to ask me. All right, is this your first time here? So thank you for all the emojis, the thumbs up, the hearts, and the smiley faces. I really want to thank them. Also, the stars you sent. Don't forget to check me to follow me. And if you want to be notified I'm on, don't forget to check that. So this is Bob Pace signing off. Till tomorrow, I'll be on again at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. God bless y'all. And don't forget to keep fighting for your children. Hang in there. And I do care. Bob Pace signing